Hi everyone, welcome you to Supply Chain Management lesson number 3, which is on supply chain drivers. So in the previous lesson we discussed how to achieve the strategic fit between competitive strategy and supply chain strategy. So the strategic fit discussed in the previous lesson require a company's supply chain to achieve the balance between responsiveness and efficiency that best support the competitive strategy of an organization. So to understand how a company can improve supply chain performance in terms of responsiveness and efficiency, which we discussed in the previous lesson, we must examine the logical and cross-functional drivers of supply chain performance, which we identify as facilities, inventory, transportation, information, sourcing, and pricing. So these drivers interact to determine the supply chain performance in terms of responsiveness and efficiency that we discussed in the previous lesson. So these are the main drivers that I explained before. The key main drivers of a supply chain are facilities, inventory, transportation, information, sourcing, and pricing. So let's try to define these drivers one by one. If you go to the first one, facilities. So facilities are the actual physical location in the supply chain network where product is stored, assembled, or fabricated. The two major drivers of facilities are the production sites and the storage sites. Inventory encompasses all the raw materials, work in progress, which we call WIP, and finished goods within a supply chain. And the next driver is transportation. So transportation entails moving inventory from point to a point in the supply chain. So the transportation can take the form of many combinations of modes and routes, each with its own performance and characteristics. The next driver is information. So information consists of data and analysis concerning facilities, inventory, transportation, cost, prices, and customers throughout the supply chain. And the next one is called sourcing. So sourcing is the choice of who will perform a particular supply chain activity such as production, storage, transportation, or management of information in an organization. And the next driver we call pricing. So the pricing determines how much a firm will charge for the goods and services that it will make available in the supply chain for their customers. So these drivers, 6 main drivers, we can divide into 2 categories as logistical drivers and cross-functional drivers, as you can see in this framework. So facility, inventory, and transportation we identify as logistical drivers, and information, sourcing, and pricing we identify as cross-functional drivers. So as we discussed in the previous lesson, the goal of a supply chain strategy is to strike the balance between responsiveness and efficiency that fits with the competitive strategy. So to reach this goal, a company must structure the right combination of these 3 logistical and 3 cross-functional drivers. So the combination of these drivers, or the combined impact of these drivers, as you can see in this framework, determines the responsiveness and the profit of the entire supply chain. Thank you.